Good evening and welcome to the Whisky Lover Society with me, Gert Retief. And today I have something new. I have something strange. I have something that I've haven't seen in the shops. Something that is not really available where I live. And I found this on my online store about 3-4 weeks ago, and I thought it's going to be an interesting review. And it is the Graigallachie 13-year-old single malt. It is a Speyside Single Malt. The distillery is also called the Graigallachie. It is a whiskey that has been matured in refill ex-bourbon casks. It is bottled at 46% ABV, and you can buy it online for a 70 centiliter bottle for around 45 to 50 euros per bottle, depending on where you buy it. And I'm going to give it a nose, a taste, and a little bit of a score. So it is a little bit of a surprising one for me. I've also shared a photo of this bottle on my Facebook page. If you want to join the Whisky Lover Society, where we talk whiskey, we share photos of each other's whiskies. Overall, please just come and join me, the Whisky Lover Society on Facebook. So I shared this bottle on the Facebook page, and some of the comments that I got is that something that a lot of people have not seen before. So I'm not sure if it's about distribution or maybe it's not available everywhere. But in any case, I'm looking forward to nosing it, tasting it, and to give it a little bit of a score. So look at the color. Now again, there's normally not a lot of information on the smaller bottles. Again, I don't want to do any research on any whiskies before I taste it, because I want to give my opinion and I don't want to give somebody else's opinion. And I think it is also when somebody else suggests a nose or a flavor, when it sticks into the mind and when you also get that flavor. So the idea is for me to give my opinion on it. So on the bottle itself, it doesn't state anything about the color added, but they do say non-chill filtered, so ticking a little bit of a box there. And also it is at 46% alcohol, so we expect it not to be chill filtered. So that I have coloring, they don't say much, well, I don't say anything about the coloring. And after the review, I will see if I can find something about the coloring on it, and then I will just put a little description in the side so that you can see if there was coloring added. So if I look at the color, it is it's 13 years old, so I expect a little bit of color to be in it. It is from an ex-bourbon cask or refill bourbon cask. So that means maybe not a lot of the normal ex-bourbon cask, the flavors will come out. I don't know, they don't say how many times they do refill it. But it has also been an opportunity for me to have a little bit of a less of the oak. So cheers on the nose. Wow, this is really fantastic. I think this is really nice. So I get sweet apple cider apple cider note. Really nice sweet apple cider. If I think about the apple, I would think more in the lines of the Pink Lady. Nice variety of apple, a very sweet red apple. So that reminds me quite a lot of the pink apple. Cinnamon, I do get a little bit of cinnamon in it. Not overpowering, more like I think if I combine the red apples and I combine it with the cinnamon, I get an apple pie. And I think that is a lot like that when you get into come into the kitchen and somebody's baking an apple pie with cinnamon in it, and maybe a little bit of a buttery note as well, so you get that apples and the butteriness of it, the little crust. Maybe that's where the butter comes from, in the crust of the apple pie. So that is the type of note that I get into it. Really nice. Also maybe a little bit of reminds me of the buttered popcorn. So not really the popcorn itself, but that little bit of a butteriness that you get when you put it on your popcorn. The sweetness also. I do get, years ago when I was still in South Africa, there was a nice little bakery not so far from my house, and it was one of our things when we went for lunch. We went to the bakery and they had a small little pecan pies, ridiculously sweet. But it gives me a little bit of it reminds me of that little pecan pie that we used to buy, the sticky toffee sweetness of it. So a good memory. A little bit of a vanilla note, and I suspect that comes from the American oak. But being a refill cask, maybe it is a lot toned down, because I think probably most of the vanilla flavors have been taken out. So it's a little bit of a vanilla ice cream. I would characterize it as. Also a little bit of a raisiny note, not much, and I would not have expected that in a ex-bourbon cask, but I do get that sweet raisiny, or maybe even not just raisins, but maybe more towards a little bit of an apricot, a dried apricot, that a little bit difference between the raisins and the apricot smell to it. So I can tell you, if this nose can translate into the taste, I think this is going to be the best whiskey for me so far for the year. And I don't normally say things like that, but really this nose is incredible. And especially if you do like a little things on the sweeter side, and of course I do like the sweet things in life. And but definitely this is really nice. I think this. I just want to go back and see if I can find some more. And I think if I switch on the brain a little bit more, I'm going to find a little bit more of the notes. The alcohol at 46% alcohol is it's not really there. I don't get any. Even if I put my nose quite deep in it, normally the first thing that I get a little cough going on. I don't get that this time. it's like a 46-year-old, 46% that was mellowed over the last 13 years, and it makes it a little bit, well, may I say, the smoothness is actually coming through to me. I'm not sure if it really makes sense, but there's not that sharpness of the alcohol in it. So I hope it goes into the taste. Even if I get half of the flavors into taste, phew, that's going to be a really, really good one. So, cheers. The first thing that I get is a little tangy sweetness. So, hinting towards a little bit of a sour note, and the sweetness together. So that's the first thing that I get. The oak is there. I get just a hint of it, and I think with the second sip, it was the first sip. I didn't really get the oak. With the second sip, the oak definitely is there, so you get the sweetness, the little sour note, and then it gets into a little bit of an oaky note, and I think that has got also something to do, on my opinion, to do with the refill. Ex-bourbon cask. So some of the nice notes is out of the wood. They put the new whiskey in it. So what's left? Maybe the oaky tannins. But of course, that is just my opinion. But it's definitely there. Is it overpowering? Definitely not. But I do get that hint of oak. Let me try again. Yeah, a little bit of a spicy oak, maybe going into a little bit of a peppery note. And yeah, that is that. If I have to add another one, I would go into the burnt caramel notes to it. Not overly burnt, but you can see when you make your caramel at home and you start burning just on the edges, and you just stop it early enough, and you still want to use it because you don't want to start all over again, and you get that hint of bitterness on the side. And it's a little bit every time I go back for the next sip, it is as if the bitterness increases by 1 or 2%. So still it's not really bad for me. It's enjoyable for me. It's a little bit. I'm getting used to drinking black coffee now as well. So it's a little bit of the black coffee note coming out. So not really totally unpleasant. So I think I'm just going to add a little bit of water, and on this much I'm just going to literally put in about five drops of water. Well, that the water made actually quite a big difference. If I can just come back to the without the water, and what I now get with the aftertaste is that the sweetness, when the sweetness is still there, but when the oaky aftertaste kicks in. And also what I get is a little bit of a dry mouthfeel. It feels like the water has been sucked out of my mouth. So I do get the dryness of it. The oak kicks in. And I think it is a little bit two-dimensional. And maybe if I do add the burnt caramel, I get 3 dimensions of it. Considering the long list of wonderful things that I had on the nose, it is a little bit of a letdown for me. That you have all these promises on the nose and it turns out to be a little bit flat in the taste. So hopefully maybe a little water can rescue this one for me. Now, the first thing that I notice if I add the water is it just lights up the whiskey. For me, it's like a fruit basket. Or maybe even a fruit salad where it's cut up with some ripe fruit. And the fruit that I'm thinking of is a mango, maybe also a pawpaw. I was struggling to find the pawpaw. But now it makes sense to me that I get this. I know years ago we used to make the fruit salad, and pawpaw and mango was one of the main ingredients with some pineapple and maybe some grapes. And I do get that. That is the perfect description for this one when I added a little bit of water. Is the mango, pawpaw, some grapes and a little bit of pineapple to bring that a little bit of a citrus note out, and that is exactly what I got now with regards to the water that was added. So also on the taste with the water added, a little bit sweeter, definitely. The oak is almost disappeared. Even in the aftertaste, I don't get any oak. So, by the way, if you hear somebody snoring, my dog is sitting next to me, snoring away like crazy. I'm trying to keep her awake so that she doesn't disturb everything. But if there's a snore coming out, it's my dog. Definitely, is it something that I would buy again? I would buy it again. For me, this is, I call it a little bit of a nosing whiskey. I can sit for hours and hours just smelling it. And of course, without the water, it was a little bit flat. And then when I added the water, that made quite a difference. So yes, definitely, I'm going to buy a full bottle of this one. And this is something that you can, because it's not that overly expensive, of course you can open up the bottle and have some fun with your friends. So if I look at the score, I will give it a score of 87 out of 100, which is still quite high for me. If it wasn't for the nose of it, it would have been 82, 83. But the nosing of this one is incredible. So 87, I think is a decent score for this whiskey. Go out, go buy it. Let me know in the comments if you have tried it before. What do you think? Is this something that you would recommend to your friends? And as always, please remember to like and subscribe. I do see a lot of people are watching my videos, but I see that people are not subscribing to the channel. So it doesn't cost you any money. So feel free to subscribe to the channel and put a comment in there so that we can start engaging with this fantastic whiskey. So cheers and see you next time.